What is going on YouTube? Welcome to today's video. Hey, I wanted to do a reaction vid to this article I found on Spend Me Not about millennial spending habits and kind of how I think they're all over the place and where we really need to improve as millennials, and then also the trends for Gen Z are not a whole lot different. So I wanted to kind of address some of those things and what I recommend in those areas and what I think needs to be improved upon. Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Rick. I'm a financial coach and I'm the owner of the Debt Free Mafia. If you don't know what financial coaches do, think about this. Think about, maybe it's you or maybe somebody else and they just at the end of the month, they just feel like, man, this is hard. We don't know if we're gonna have enough money to cover rent. We don't know if we're gonna have enough money to cover the car payment, credit card payments. Maybe we're like, we don't have enough money to invest. Whatever it is, whatever that pinch that you're feeling, I fix that. As a financial coach, I help people start to win with their money rather than feeling burdened by it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this, guys. If you are interested in the debt-free lifestyle, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We talk about the debt-free living. We talk about building a legacy for our children's children. If that's all stuff that you relate to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because we're building a community here based around that and starting to win with our money. So we're gonna jump into this. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so this is of course from Spend Me Not. They did a really cool little article on this. I'll link it below so that you can go check it out if you're interested in. But I kind of wanted to go through point by point here and just kind of give my thoughts on some of these things and what we could do to either improve or what we're doing well as millennials. I myself a millennial. Also, if you're Gen Z, this is very much relevant to you because you can learn from the mistakes of the generation ahead of you. Okay, so this, according to this, is of course they're getting their facts from Urban. It says that only basically 30% of millennials are homeowners. Now, that's very big difference between Gen X and Gen Z, Gen X and baby boomers, which is baby boomers are at 75, Gen Z is at 60. And this goes to talk about, kind of how a lot of millennials went through the housing crisis of 2008 and saw that. So they're kind of turned off on the idea of losing or having a home because they've watched people lose homes. There was a big housing bubble there. I'm not so upset about this. We're also known as the renters generation because millennials rent more than anybody. And I'm not totally turned off by that, even though I'm a big believer in owning a home and whatnot. However, I do believe that there is a huge housing bubble right now and that home prices are super inflated, especially here in Texas. It's unbelievable. All the houses around the Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin area are all going for over 20% of the asking price. Which is nuts. It's nuts. So, and I think eventually that's going to catch up to us. So, I'm okay with the renting right now as long as you're being smart about it. Again, if you don't know if you're doing a good job or if you're in the spot you need to be in, hire a financial coach. They'll look at your situation and help address whether it's smart or not, especially based on the area you live in. It's a great resource to have. Okay, again, this kind of ties in with number one. Millennials have spent more than $90,000 on rent before they reach 30. It's a lot of money. You'd love for that to be an equity. However, with most mortgages and the way they're set up today, really doesn't make a huge difference because most of that $90,000 would go towards interest anyways. On like a house that's $300,000, most of that would go towards interest anyways in those first few years. So I'm not totally turned off by that either. Again, if you can get into a home for a good price with a good mortgage and you have all your debt paid outside of that, let's buy a house. Let's not rent. Okay. This one was a big deal to me. So nearly half of millennials would spend more than they can afford to hang out with friends, i.e. credit card debt, right? So we are spending money to go do things that we can't afford. And that is going to put you in a bind. It might not be today, but this YOLO mentality really comes to bite you in the tail once you start to get older. Something we talk about a lot here is just being good at saying no. I've already done some videos on how to have fun without spending a lot of money. I think I know how attractive it is to want to go and spend a bunch of money and go do fun things because we all have a little bit of FOMO or fear of missing out, right? We don't want to miss out on that concert or that vacation or that cool event that's going on that costs a lot of money, whatever it might be. Guys, let's stop putting this kind of money on credit cards because all we're doing is you're not really getting an event right now, you're just putting a burden on your future self. That's really what it comes down to. Make some suggestions. It takes some effort. Find some ways to be able to hang out without spending a lot of money. This one's not a shocker to a lot of us. Spending more than $4 on coffee is absolutely ridiculous. I got my coffee right here. Shout out my little brother. This is Rick's mug. That way nobody knows. I'm a germaphobe, so I'm glad. No, I'm just kidding. It was more of just a joke, but I like coffee. Coffee shouldn't cost you $4. That's ridiculous. Reason I say that is because the average millennial is over $27,000 in debt. Don't be spending $4 on coffee. That's ridiculous. All right. You shouldn't see the inside of a Starbucks unless you work there while you're paying off your debt, right? Channeling my inner Dave there. 1% of their annual expenditures on alcoholic beverages. That's a lot if you do the math. That's a lot on alcohol, guys. 79% of millennials would eat at a trendy restaurant. This is so true, man. And I know this because all of my millennial friends, as soon as a new restaurant opens, what do they want to do? They want to go try it out. So I get it. Again, I don't recommend it as a financial coach, eating out until you got your debt paid off. Eating out should be viewed as a luxury, not a right. All right, again, more than $3,000 in eating out. I honestly thought that would be a little bit more. Like if you look at Gen Xers are doing 42, baby boomers are about the same. So that's really interesting to me that Gen Xers like to eat out more, but still $3,000 a year on eating out. That's $3,000 faster you could be out of debt, or that could be $3,000 that you're putting into something that's gaining you interest. I'm not against eating out if you don't have debt. I'm all for it if you've got the money for it. But again, eating out is a luxury. You need to remember that. 73% of millennials will go see a live event. Again, that kind of goes into concerts, like maybe festivals, movies. Maybe it would even count as a live event. I don't know, but or a band, going and seeing a band at a bar, whatever it might be. Again, something that you can control the spending on, but we choose not to collectively as millennials. This is a good one, and not a shocker to anybody, but 76%, nearly 80% of millennials would spend money on the newest gadget. I just read an article where the revenue that Apple has made off of AirPods has surpassed Spotify, and it's not even close. So, and I get it. It's really fun because it's sexy and it's now, and technology is all about making things easier. And the thing that we really have a hard time remembering is that it's also a status symbol, right? It's not so much of you have an iPhone so you're better, or the newest iPhone makes you better. It's more of we have this mentality of the newest iPhone makes you feel like you fit in, right? Because everybody has the newest phone. Most of them are financed. I will say a caveat, mine is financed. I'm leasing it. However, I've done the math on it, and it was cheaper to finance it than it was, or not finance it, but lease it through the company than it was to buy it outright. I did the math on that, and I wanted to make sure that was a good deal. Some people just don't like owing any money on anything, and I'm all for it. So if you want to pay for your phone up front, do it. On this next plan that I do, I'm going to carry over my old phone because it's working just fine. I'm not going to get a new one right away. 70% of millennials buy clothes they don't need. If you have not watched the Minimalist documentary on Netflix, I highly encourage this. I am all for buying nice clothes, but buy less of them. All right, let's buy some really good clothes that you can mix and match very well, all work together, but not a lot of them, right? So again, clothes to an extent become a luxury after you're using them out of necessity, right? So again, we need to have that mentality. I am a big sneakerhead, so I buy extra sneakers that I don't need, but that's also goes into my hobby part of my budget. So, and also I flip them, so it is also a side income at the same time. So be smart there, guys. 53% of millennials spend money on Ubers and taxis. Good grief, that's can be such a waste of money. I get it if you're on vacation and you don't want to rent a car. Usually Uber's cheaper, so I'm all for that. However, if you're using Uber daily as a commuting vehicle, we might need to reevaluate that and see if we can't find something else. Especially, again, I think that's one of those scenarios where you got to understand, is it a necessity or is it a luxury? I was actually impressed with this one. 72% of experts 72% hired an expert for their financial plan. Millennials seem to be very interested in investing, which I am all for that. However, let's knock out the debt first so that we have all the extra cash flow to pay for investing and pay for a good financial planner. I recommend hiring somebody who's not one of the big companies, just because And also, this is a big thing. If you are going to hire a financial planner, make sure that they're incentive based and not just flat fee based. Because you want them to have a vested interest in what you're investing in. You want them to make money when you're making money, because they're going to be a lot more on top of your stuff than letting it slide if it starts to, lose money or not gain money. 30% of millennials have emergency fund. Guys, this should be 100%. That stresses me the heck out. So this is saying here, it's actually gone down a little bit, but almost 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and 44% of them have credit card debt. Oh my goodness. And this is staggering, guys. I mean, that's the majority of you are living paycheck to paycheck. The majority of people, I should say, not just you watching this. You might be, but I'm not trying to accuse you. I'm just saying the majority of people have this, and that just stresses me the heck out because, that is at the end of the month. That just is so stressful, right? And you don't want to live that way. It's not good for your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health. Then so let's get that fixed. Online shopping, I'm all for it. I like it because I get reviews, because if I go in the store and I look at an item, I don't know if it's good or not. Even though I've gotten to the point where I don't really trust reviews. Amazon makes things affordable in a lot of cases, so I'm for it as long as it's not creating a spending habit. See this one. 7.5% of their yearly expenditures on cars. Guys, cars can be one of the biggest financial traps that we get in. We waste so much money on them. It's staggering. It's okay to buy an older car and not be cool. We both drive older vehicles. They're paid for. And guess what? It saves us like $1,000 a month on that kind of stuff. So we have $1,000 extra to do the things that we want to do, like invest or be able to save for maybe a career change, or being able to go on that vacation that we want to, because we're not stuck paying on a car. We can actually save that money and go on a vacation with for our family and not have to feel guilty about it or put it on credit. Millennials spend close to $3,000 on healthcare. Again, this is where that emergency fund comes in to play big time, because most medical stuff is unpredictable, and it's not it's not if it's gonna happen, but when it's gonna happen, right? So that emergency fund is super important. Let's make sure that we have that. 35% of all pet owners are millennials. Millennials do love their pets. Let's make pets be a pet and not a priority. I know that that's not super popular, but you got to take care of yourself and your own finances first, because if you can't take care of yourself and your finances first, you're not going to be able to take care of a pet, and that would be doing them a disservice, right? So let's make sure we're taking care of ourselves. All for pets. Not going to rag you there, but don't get a pet if you can't afford it. This one was awesome. This is my favorite stat so far. 84% of millennials donate to charity. That's what we're big about here at the Debt Free Mafia. We want to have no debt, and we want to be building wealth, not just so we can leave a legacy to our children or our children's children, but so that we can give generously. Giving is one of the most fulfilling things you'll ever do, and being able to support things that you want to be able to support, and you'll have a lot more power in that area without debt and without payments, and after you've invested and done a good job building wealth. So, and then lastly, we got a couple more, but third of millennials are willing to spend more than $5,000 on travel. I don't recommend it if you're $27,000 in debt, right? You'd be at $22,000 in debt just after a year if you didn't travel. I get it. It's fun to travel. Instagram makes it look super attractive. TikTok makes it look super attractive. Makes you feel like you're missing out and not doing as well. Take care of that debt, guys. Live peacefully. 84% is likely to have brokerage account. Again, seems like a lot of millennials are very interested in investing. Let's maximize that by paying off your debt so that you have the extra payments to be able to invest. So, guys, let me know what out of all of these was kind of stuck out to you. What's something that you feel like you do that you could improve on, or what do you think there's something that you're already doing well? For me, I don't like to spend $4 on coffee. The only time I ever spend money on lots of coffee is if I go to support my local coffee shop that my friend Olaf is a part owner in. I love to go get coffee from them just because it supports them. It's more of me supporting my friend than it is about having an expensive coffee. Guys, let me know what you think there. Let me switch back to this. I appreciate you stopping by. Guys, if you want to be a part of the mafia, hit the subscribe button. You don't have to be debt free, but if you're interested in the debt free lifestyle, if you're interested in building wealth, this is the place for you. Again, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think below on which one you relate with or what you feel like you're doing well or not well. I'd like to have that discussion with you or talk about it further on if you'd like to. Guys, I appreciate you. Again, be sure to hit the like button if this is content that you're into. It helps me promote my channel and it helps other people find this. So again, guys, I appreciate you. Guys, we'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.